If you just say, well, what percentage of Trump voters is the kind of ultra-nationalist go back to Iran group? My guess, I don't want to overstate it, but it's probably a third of the Trump electorate that's overtly part of that. And maybe there's another third that kind of dabbles in it.
What's happening, everybody? David Pakman, in a pathetic, desperate attempt to remain relevant, tried to go after Patrick Bet David on a recent episode of his show, The David Pakman Show. David Pakman claims that the clip he plays is of Patrick Bet David realizing that most Trump supporters are racist. Yeah, this one's a doozy, all right. Anyway, let's watch David Pakman make a complete fool of himself while trying to drag Patrick Bet David into his silly progressive grift. Let's go.
Hey, this is super funny. Patrick Bet David, the host of the PBD podcast, where I have appeared before, he had this little clip where he sort of learns that a lot of Trump's base doesn't like people like him and like me because we came here from another country. He explains, oh, I was getting feedback that was like, go back to Iran, even though I'm a Trump guy. I'm checking all the right boxes, but they still don't like me. Yes, this is a significant portion of the MAGA base. Listen, this is so funny. It's like he's learning in real time the people that he's chosen to associate himself with.
The tweets, I said, our founding fathers. A guy responds back and says, those are not your founding fathers. Mm-hmm. Guy posts a picture of the Shah of Iran, says, that's your founding father.
Oh, so funny.
But that tells you what, a part of this, there's nationalists,
yes,
and there's white nationalists. Mm-hmm. White nationalists, Vinny, don't want people like us here.
I know.
They just don't. White nationalists are a very different model. You view me as go back to Iran.
Yes.
Deport Elon back to, what do you call it, South Africa. Deport Vivek back to India, right? And you make those types of comments.
Yeah, even though Vivek was born here. Very good point.
Right. I don't think that's majority of America. I think that's less than 5%.
That is the far
of
right.
America. Yeah, that's the far right.
Ultra-nationalists.
That's the far right. And the far left wants open borders.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is a classic thing. When they have no way to deny that there is this horrible, xenophobic, unsavory contingent in their movement, rather than just dealing with that, he goes, and on the far left, they want open borders. What does that have to do with anything? Whether it's true doesn't even matter. That's not the issue. That's not really what
Like and subscribe.
we're talking about here.
And let everybody come in here. Let's legalize everyone. The far right wants, if you're not a white nationalist, get the hell out of here. Mm-hmm. The problem here is you as a consumer not knowing the position of the individual before they say it, and you think everyone is in that position. They're not. Mm-hmm. Not everyone's in that position.
Yeah. They also want me to go back to Argentina, right? I mean, it's like, this is not a new thing. It's shocking to me that he's acting as though it's news to him that this exists on his side, and it's not 5%. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's everybody. I mean, it's not PBD, right? We can say a lot of things that we would disagree about, and when I was on his show, we disagreed about tax policy. We disagreed about so many different things. But one of the things that is absolutely the case is that PBD is not in this I should go back to Argentina thing, because it'd be kind of hypocritical if it were the case, then maybe he should go back to Iran, right? He's not part of that. But pretending that that's only 5%. I mean, listen, if it's 5% of America, it's 17 million people. But that's if you consider the entire population, including kids, including people who don't even know to have positions on this. If you just say, well, what percentage of Trump voters is the kind of ultra-nationalist go back to Iran group? My guess, I don't want to overstate it, but it's probably a third of the Trump electorate that's overtly part of that. And maybe there's another third that kind of dabbles in it. They probably wouldn't say it, but to a degree they think it. That's what it is. We shouldn't overstate it and we shouldn't understate it. But 5% of America, yeah, I don't think so. So just kind of funny to see him realize.
Wow. Whew. This hard-hitting PBD expose done by one of the greatest journalists of my lifetime, it's really eye-opening, you know? I didn't realize that 66% of you guys are racist. And I'm a Trump voter. I didn't even realize that there's a 66% chance that I might be racist too. I mean, I didn't even know I thought that way until David just told me. Sucks, you know? David must think so little of his audience if he thinks they're all going to be like, all Trump voters are racist. I knew it. David Pakman's got the evidence right here. But he does know his audience very well. And come on, they're watching David Pakman. So I'll actually defer to his judgment on this one. Look, in all seriousness, though, this is about as sad of an attempt to rally the troops as I've ever seen. He's trying to create a story out of nothing. Oh, and can we go back to something real quick? First of all, who has ever looked at David Pakman and said, get that androgynous loser out of my country because of his race? I'm xenophobic. I can think of 100 reasons that I want David Pakman out of my life in general, but race or country of origin aren't even on the list. There is not a chance on earth that anyone in person has ever said anything to him like, get out of the country. This dude looks like the poster child for dorky white guy, and he doesn't talk with an accent. So that's never happened. No one's ever come up to him and said that. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even know that he and his family immigrated from Argentina legally if he didn't mention it every time the border is discussed, and already did in this video. He's such a victim, isn't he, guys? I don't doubt at all that online trolls have said that to him. I do believe that people have probably said, go back to your country online, and I have no doubt some of those people were full-blown racists or xenophobes or whatever. I completely concede that. But I am also certain that people have said, go back to your country to him for a litany of reasons that have nothing to do with where he's from. And I'm spitballing here. Like his cringy shilling for the Democrat establishment, his constant lies, his voice, his personality, his face, his non-existent shoulders, his long neck. You know, those are just a couple I thought of, you know. Anyway, let's wrap up the video.
Man, I'm part of a movement that would kick me out of the movement. Now, zooming out for a second, the purity test stuff, I believe it's a bigger problem on the left. I've said before, one of the reasons the right does win, and there's many reasons, right? I mean, at the congressional level, you've got gerrymandering, and there's no one explanation. But one of the things that hurts the left are the purity tests. The left seems to be sort of like motivated to some degree by who can we exclude from the movement because they don't check the right boxes. Of course, there's intolerance on the right, but it's more about, listen, they'll accept Jewish people. They'll accept gay people. They'll sometimes accept trans people. They'll accept some Muslim people. They'll be skeptical. They won't love it, but they'll accept it as long as you mostly accept their views because they know that it just helps them win. The left is still hesitant on that, and the purity.
Is it just me, or did he just call 66% of Trump supporters racist and xenophobes, and then point out how the right accepts everyone, also accusing us of being skeptical of everyone? When David filmed this segment, it's like he thought to himself, all right, my dumb show is hemorrhaging viewers after I predicted a Kamala landslide in the last election. My party is an effing clown show right now. Trump keeps winning. I need something good. Something real good. He's like, let's see. Stripping women of their rights. No one believes that shit anymore. Oh, transphobic. No, everyone's sick of the trans people. Trump is Hitler? No. Elon Musk is an oligarch. No. Oh, they're going to take away Social Security. No, it doesn't have that bite I'm looking for. It was right in front of me the whole time. Old Faithful, racism. So maybe you guys can help me out in the comments. I'm really serious about this. I've never in my life met a white nationalist that I'm aware of. So PBD said it's like 5% of the country. I think it's like less than 1%. And I could be naive, but I've never met one. I don't even see them like on the news. And you know the mainstream media would love to cover it if these people are running around out there saying, I hate other races and stuff like that, you know? Seriously, let me know in the comments, like if, I don't know, if you live somewhere where they're really prevalent or something. I hear about them all the time. I've never met one, like I said, that I know of that has said, hey, I'm a white nationalist and let's talk about how much I hate minorities or people different from me or whatever. You know, I just haven't seen it. There's so much that I want to talk about from this little 5-minute clip, but something is going to bother me forever unless you guys help me out. Seriously, is some math David did there. Okay, so here's what has me so confused. I thought David was saying 17 million people, or 5% of the country, like PBD said, are white nationalists. And I thought David was saying, well, 5%, that's a lot, 17 million people. So I thought he was saying that like that's a high number. But then he proceeds to say it's like a third of Trump voters that are overtly racist or xenophobic, and then another third that dabble in it or whatever he said. So a third of Trump voters would have been like 25, 26 million people. So it's a way higher number than his 17 million. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't add up. But then I thought maybe I'm misinterpreting him, even though I'm an expert in David Pakman. Maybe he's saying 5% is too low. In that case, he's still an idiot because now he's saying that 25 to 26 million people in the country are white nationalists overtly, and 25 to 26 million people in the country dabble in white nationalism, xenophobia, racism, whatever it is. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think it's like less than 1% of people that have views like that because I've just never met them. I'm not around them. So I'm asking you to help me interpret in the comments, what the hell is he talking about? Is he saying that 5% of the U.S. population is low for racists and xenophobes and white nationalists? Or is he saying that's a high number? I'm telling you, you guys need to help me out with this because I'm going to lose sleep over this. But what did you guys think of Dum Dum's attempt to make a story out of nothing here? Did he do a good job? Or is he making some really good points and I'm just so biased against David Pakman that I just can't see it? Anyway, that's it for this video. If you like watching videos of David Pakman just talk out of his ass, I've got a whole David Pakman playlist that's probably popping up on your screen right now, so check that out. Otherwise, as always, I have the best viewers in the world. Thank you so much for taking a couple minutes out of your day to watch my video, and I'll see you guys.